Stephen Kenny, welcome to plzsoccer.com. You are the Republic of Ireland manager who is well accustomed to working with Liam Scales. First of all, just tell us a bit about his character over the time you've known him and how he's grown as a player.
Yes, really. He's had an unusual career path, quite different. Obviously, went to University College Dublin and played for UCD in the First Division in Ireland and then in the Premier Division. And I selected him for the Republic of Ireland under-21 team when he was at UCD, and he played against Italy at left back and played against Sweden at centre back. And we took him to the Toulon tournament in France, of course, great under-21 tournament where we played the Brazilian Olympic team, the Mexican Olympic team, and he was involved in those games. And overall he acquitted himself very well. So his progression hasn't been as quick as other players. They have, but he's gone from Shamrock Rovers to Celtic, on loan to Aberdeen and back to Celtic, and now we see him excelling in the Champions League for Celtic, which is really good to see.
Yeah, a regular starter for Celtic now. Did you sense that there was a certain element of surprise that he was able to dig his heels in this season and do that?
I think he's shown himself always to be to have a good attitude regardless of the circumstances. You know, I had him in various Ireland squads, senior squads, and he found himself left out because we're quite strong in the centre half department. That's our strongest area. We have quite a number of young centre backs emerging, and he found himself on the fringes of that, but he never complained. He always showed a brilliant attitude and was always behind the team. Going on loan to Aberdeen, obviously, he did an excellent season there with Aberdeen, and they finished very strongly, and he was an important part of that. So it looked like it's very difficult to make it at Celtic. It's very difficult because the sheer number of players and the scrutiny, and so for players to make the breakthrough at Celtic is never easy. We've seen quite a few Irish players go to Celtic and find it difficult to make the breakthrough. But Liam has been consistent this season, played the majority of the games, nearly all the games, and it's been a good start for him, and that's culminated in getting his first international start against Greece earlier in the previous window, and also against Gibraltar. So he acquitted himself very well.
Have you had a chance to speak to him at all before this campaign started to give him any sort of advice?
Yeah, no. I will name the squad on Thursday for the games against. We play Holland and Amsterdam on Saturday week, and we play New Zealand in Dublin in the Aviva Stadium. So Liam will be definitely named in the squad on the back of his performance for Ireland in the previous window.
How important have these Champions League games been for him in terms of his confidence and the belief that he can play at that level?
Yeah, because he's quite an adaptable player. When Ange Postecoglou was manager, he actually played at left back quite a lot for Celtic. You know, he was obviously behind Greg Taylor, but at that stage, but in the pecking order. But he played in 2 European games at left back, and we seen at Aberdeen obviously playing a back three. In his previous club at Shamrock Rovers, he had played at wing back on occasions. So he has that adaptability. Left-sided centre back is his best position, and he has shown that this season. So he's acquitted himself really well because he's had such a journey. Because when I don't know if to reveal and stuff about Liam, because when he obviously done his degree in University College Dublin when he was playing for UCD, and came through as a graduate there, and he's a qualified. He's a teacher of in the Irish language. So I've had to have a chat with him, to impart some of his, his knowledge of the Irish language to some of the other players. But certainly so he's an educated guy. He takes everything in his stride. He's great determination and tenacity, and determination to improve. And he has made steps every season in his growth. And he knows that at Celtic, you've got to continually prove yourself. He understands that you could never be complacent for one moment at Celtic, and he understands that he's going to have to continue to perform. And I'm sure he has that level-headed temperament that can only help him. And obviously, Brendan Rodgers has come in and shown great faith in him and has great belief in him, and that's a positive for him.
Would you say having that experience of going to the university and getting his degree has really helped him in his football career, and having that determination to stick in and continually try and improve yourself?
I don't know if the two are correlated. Like, every players are all from different educational backgrounds, different walks of life, urban, rural. I think you can't say definitively that's the case. There are many examples of people who've got degrees who haven't progressed. So I don't think there's an absolute connection between the two. But in his case, it's worked for him, and I think showing that sort of consistency of application and attitude, regardless of the setbacks you get in your career, in terms of being out of the team for periods and having that application every day, that consistency of application, that takes a degree of mental fortitude, and I think he has displayed that.
Say about his character, Stephen, that he has been able to dig his heels in and make it a team like Celtic. As you say, it's extremely difficult to become a regular.
Yeah, it is. And we have had other players that have come from sort of the Irish under-21 setup. Leo O'Connor had signed from Manchester United at right back to Celtic. Jonathan Afolabi had signed from Southampton. And Luke O'Connell, of course, had signed from Bolton Wanderers at various stages. But it can be difficult because the standard is very high. Champions League standard is very high. It's difficult to blood young players in an environment where success is paramount and every performance is scrutinised at such a level. So Liam has been a bit older than when he moved from Shamrock Rovers, a bit older than they were when they moved from their respective clubs. But he has made the step up, albeit not straight away. He's had to bide his time and have his period on loan at Aberdeen, which helped him improve again. But he has shown a determination to do that, and a capacity to adapt to whatever the demands are of the team.
And just finally, have you noticed a change in his confidence or his body language whenever you've had him out on international duty through having the experience that he's got under his belt?
Listen, all the time, he always, body language has always been positive, whether he's been in or out of the team. So it's not, he's not like someone who the shoulders drop when they're not in the team, and all of a sudden they're a different picture when they are in the team. That's not him at all. He's been consistent in his application, in his determination, his attitude, and you just got a level-headed individual who is very determined and might be quiet off the pitch, but very, very, great professional, and has shown a hunger to try and make the breakthrough and to stay at the level, because he would know that you have to continually perform. He wouldn't feel that he's arrived just because he's played this season at Celtic. He knows that you've got to continually perform over a longer period of time, and he'll be determined to do that.